in here with another YouTube live stream. Welcome to the Wake Up Show right here on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. Also, the Free Agent Lifestyle podcast. I appreciate y'all for joining me over here. We are back for Monday morning. You're watching the Monday morning rendition if you're watching on the playback. And we're going to talk about a very sensitive topic. This topic that if you address this topic straight ahead, they're going to say the predictable shaming language in which they can do something right in front of your eyes, but you can't have an opposing view. I know we live in a new modern America in which people can basically say what they want to say with no opposing view. Now, we get the opposing view all the time on our channel. All right. People can basically tell us we're in the wrong, and they're certainly welcome to. I don't try to tell people that they can't tell me I'm wrong. It's just a matter of how you do it, right? So we're going to talk about this situation of these young men wearing dresses. They may call it in the past gender bending, or they may say you're challenging traditional gender roles. All right. So these are the issues that they're going to talk about here. Recently, Russell Westbrook is and I'm sure I'm going to call him Russell Wilson at some particular point because I get those names confused when I want to call their name. But we're going to talk about this. And I titled this "The New Image for American Descendants of Single Mothers." Typically, we're not going to go in hardcore on single mothers today, but we're going to talk about this issue. So I just want to address for the people who are going to watch it early and not watch it all the way through, because these streams tend to get long. If you are speaking about this issue, they're going to say the traditional thing to get you to back down, which is you're going to say something homophobic. Okay. And I just want to let you guys know, I don't care about people's anatomy. I don't care where you put it. I don't care who you put it in. I don't care what your culture is and your lifestyle for the most part. This isn't an issue of what you do with your anatomy. So I don't know why you guys continue to broadcast it, but I don't care. I do find it interesting that if I say something about this dress, that it is considered homophobia, which I don't see a lot of men who are of that lifestyle, the rainbow lifestyle, wearing dresses. I don't see that. And I don't see the connection to people who wear dresses and people who are rainbow culture. I don't see the connection. Okay. You see the connection and you're trying to defend it, maybe because this is something that you want men of that lifestyle to do. All right. I don't see it as a connection between the rainbow, specifically the rainbow people, or not. Or let's put it this way. If this is, in fact, what you consider the rainbow culture of what they would consider homophobia, if this is what you consider them to be, or this is what they want to become, well, then you would have to say, why is it that they're putting these particular men in these dresses? Okay. Do these men eventually want to come out and be dress wearing men? I mean, that's a question. We do have a culture of people which they call trans, people who want to transition into wearing dresses and dressing like a woman, appearing like a woman. Okay. I can see that. But do men that are rainbow want to be out here wearing dresses? And if so, why is it that these particular men are being put in a dress? Okay. I mean, this is an interesting question that we have to ask. All right. We're going to talk about masculinity, the recent attacks on masculinity, of why we don't see men being supported of being masculine in our culture, why people hate it, why is there a term called masculinophobia, right? Or straightophobia or masculinophobia? Is there a term such as that? This isn't going to be a rainbow bashing session, because I know a lot of people either are going to make it too late in the stream or maybe very early to try to see if I come out and say something about people who live alternative lifestyles. This is not it. It's not it. We're going to talk about the numbers here. We're going to talk about why there is a need for young men to see masculine role models. Okay. We're going to talk about that. All right, but before we do that, we're gonna do some super chats for the brothers that have come in early in the morning. Early in the morning. D Jones says, I lost some respect for Russ. It ain't even funny. Well, listen, if you're a guy, you're a basketball fan, you've been watching Russell Westbrook do some amazing things on the basketball court. You've gone out for years to try to mimic these qualities of being an athlete, of being a man. And he wants to do this. We're going to talk about why he did this. I'm talking about the New York Fashion Week. That's a whole nother subject. But if you did look up to Russ at some particular point or respected his basketball game, and then he's done this, you got a question like, why would he do it? Like, why would he do that? And I can understand if people choose to lose a level of respect for him, and you should be able to lose a level of respect for him because, you should have the ability to say, well, I don't like to see men wearing dresses. That should be totally fine in our society, but it's not. Pele Manuel, thank you, brother, for your super chat. Warhammer, only single mother rise, or only single mothers raise simps will do that. I think you meant who raise simps. Only single mothers who raise simps do this. We have the epidemic of the single motherhood, especially for us black men. Okay, I might address the black men issue, but for black men in particularly, where the numbers are dismal in relationship to broken homes versus stable two-parent households, overwhelmingly undereducated, overwhelmingly over policed and jailed. And I wonder, how come the community doesn't stand up against this, and particularly the women in the community? I've often wondered that. But most what you find, these will be your biggest supporters. The women in the community. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that later. I'm going to hold off on that. Rory, thank you, brother, for your super chat. Demetrius Thomas says, morning coach, the cartoon Boondocks called this years ago. Give them the buzzer. All right. Appreciate you, brother. Jamie S., morning coach, breakfast donation. Say breakfast 5 times. Breakfast donation. Thank you, man. Mr. Joshua, back in the day, I don't think what Russ did would go well in the locker room. I could only think of Dennis Rodman, but Dennis was Dennis. I don't get it. Yeah, these days, you really can't do it because a lot of these NBA players are fashion icons, right? And I know Russell Westbrook, see, when you get a lot of money, there's only so much you can do and so many things you can buy. So then you try to test the waters or push the envelope, or what you'll eventually do is have people say, hey, you know what? Will be a great idea. These people probably don't look anything like you, by the way. These people don't look anything like you. It's probably going to be what I call a white liberal. Okay. The white liberal has always, listen, Malcolm X warned you about the white liberal so many times. I don't know why you pro-blacks be rolling side by side by these people at the march. I often have had stark criticism about the white liberal. I grew up with them. When I was in high school. I went to a primarily white school. All right. They would call it an all white school, despite the fact that not all students were white. But the majority of them were. And many of the times, the people who you would attract would be the white liberals, right? And these people would act like they're your best friend and they understand you. Oftentimes, they would say some stuff. They would say some of the most racist stuff and get away with it right in your face. And then it would often be followed by, oh, just kidding. Oh, I understand. They try to slip in. You think I could get the N-word pass? They slip in the N-word. You're like, wow. Meanwhile, if somebody on the non-white liberal side would say something, they would go in rage. They would go crazy. I can't believe they said that. Well, you've been saying the N-word, trying to get away with it, quoting Jay-Z lyrics the entire time. It's crazy. But a lot of these people do try to confront these men and make them billboards, and they'll try to make them push the envelope. And Russell Westbrook's that type of personality that will try to do something like that. All right, E. Brock, appreciate you for being here. Otto Man, hi, coach. I saw a fellow CGA listener on the J train headed into Manhattan. We chatted a bit. The word is spreading here. Keep it up. I love that, brother. Love it. Love it. Love it when we see us out here. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right. All right. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you and the fellow listeners on the J train headed to New York, Manhattan. Was he wearing Timberland boots, Sean? All right, Simon Small. Thank you, man. Studio IC. What happened?
What happened? Where did all the men go?
All right. Yes, indeed. Raynell Mitchell. I'm going to do a couple more. Thank you for your super chat. Robertson, Torado. Pew Research. America, the #1 country in the world for single parents. I have no kids because women just want me to make a baby, not a family. This is why you have to protect your seed and protect your meat. I didn't know it was the #1 country. I thought the Philippines was running #1. They have a lot of single motherhood there too. But wow. I think, I guess, I don't want to diss the Philippines, but I'm saying in the first world countries, I would suppose it would be the #1. I'm not trying to diss. Maybe Philippines is considered first world. I don't know, man. There's a lot of poverty there, so it'd be difficult to put them in there, but maybe I'm wrong. Abby Santee, welcome back, brother. He says, good morning, CJ. It is crazy how they push the agenda every way they can. The barbarian is closely at the gate. All right, what about you guys here? I'm going to bring this point up. What about you, gentlemen? I want to have kids. Coach, I want to have some kids. I want to have a son. I want to teach him how to play basketball. I want to teach him how to throw his first baseball. I want to teach him how to throw his first spiral football. And these are the images that you have in your head. You also have the image of what the brother said, you raising a family. You're going to be together with a mom. Guys, these statistics will tell you that you have a low percentage of that happening. I mean, they will say 50-50, but depending on where you are, very low percentage. I mean, if you're in the Black community, 8 out of 10 of the children that are born are going to be in a unmarried, non-two-parent household. All right. The best possibly is going to be a stepdaddy. And many times he's going to be not a masculine stepdaddy. He's going to be moving into your house. Okay. He's not going to have a house where he upgrades the mom. It's going to be some dude that moves in. All right. This is not going to be a guy who's going to be a leader in your house. Okay. So if you want to have kids, you got to understand in our culture today, these agendas are being heavily pushed. And on the other side, you're being silenced in trying to make your man, your little man, a man. I want to make my son a stand-up man. I want to make him support a two-parent household. I want to make him have a family. That's going to be frowned against. Oh, no. Nope. He's going to have an equal partnership. That's at worst. Oh, sorry, that's at best. But if at worst, if he wants to, what do you call it? Explore himself. If he wants to dress in a dress, if he wants to play with dolls, society's going to say, hey, don't interrupt the kid. Don't interrupt him. Let him enjoy the dolls. It's just dolls. Now, you're going to say, nah, I want him to play baseball. I want him to play football. I don't want him to play with dolls. But your side of the argument is going to be extinguished. You cannot interfere with that. As a matter of fact, the mere fact that he's playing with dolls means he needs to go to a cross-dressing reading ceremony where he's going to have some overweight men dressed as women come in and they're going to read to him about how he should be able to accept him wanting to play with dolls. Now, he might have innocently just wanted to play with the dolls that day. He'd been playing with He-Man for the past 8 weeks. Now he just picked up a doll because it was there. And now they're like, oh, wait. He's identifying right now. Let him do it. Now, I think this is ridiculous. Okay. It's ridiculous and it's going overboard. If you grew up in a time, the 60s, 70s, and 80s, 90s to 2000s, you've seen this agenda pushed very hard. Where I don't know, for some reason in America, it is funny for a man, particularly a masculine man, and specifically a Black man, to wear and dress up like a woman. Can anybody explain why this is funny? And I'm going to just say, there was a time where I might have thought it was funny once or twice. Okay. But we've seen it for the umpteenth time to the point where it is no longer funny in the movies. I'm going to give you some examples. You guys want to look at some examples right here? In this story, they say Russell Wilson wears a kilt. Okay. They say he wears a kilt in leather boots for New York fashion, for Tom Brown Fashion Week. I thought it was New York Fashion Week. I may be wrong. It's in New York. Oh, it is New York Fashion Week. Tom Brown is the designer. Ask me if I know any other designers. I don't know. This says Russell Wilson made a notable style statement this weekend. This is style. Okay, so I know Fashion Week can get a little absurd. There's not a lot of what you would consider masculine men at the Fashion Week. I've been in Fashion Week. Okay, I couldn't tolerate it as much. And back then they had models that looked like models, but now it's a little bit overboard. But here's his kilt, as they're describing it, and his leather boots, and his open V-neck shirt with this blue hair. Now he's just being used as a prop, as a billboard. People will say that there's rituals related to this and conspiracy theories will come out. If Chronicles of Judah 144, I believe it's 144, if he came on, he'd be telling you about the steep history of what these people are, who they're praying to, and who they're trying to, you got to follow Chronicle of Judah to really get it. But this is him, and these are the boots for the Tom Brown that they're promoting. Now, why you have to dress in a kilt or a dress to promote boots, male boots, I don't know. Maybe to make a statement because we're talking about it. We're talking about it. So here we are. And in recent times, we've seen Kid Cudi do this exact same thing. Look, the blue hair and the dress. Now, if you know who Kid Cudi is, Kid Cudi is a rapper. He's been around for a couple of 10 years or so. I believe this is his girlfriend. Yes, at New York Fashion Week. And before he did this, he did this on Saturday Night Live. Okay. For the most part, if you're running a marketing campaign, you certainly have got enough attention. Whoever the dress designer is here got their attention. And they said they're going to do a male fashion line for men's dresses. Okay. I mean, look, I don't know. Maybe there's a market for it, especially the way they're pushing it. So Kid Cudi is here with blue fingernail polish, gender bending, breaking gender roles here, showing strength. This is the new version of strength here. He has blue hair, similarly to Russell Westbrook. That's odd. And so this is the new image here. Now, so if you're a person in the community and you're looking at the black family and the state of the black family, it is an emergency. There's people here on YouTube, males, that are trying to push this agenda to get you guys to be married. No, you guys go out there. Hey, don't listen to these dating coaches and these MGTOWs and these PUAs. Don't listen to these people, man. Go marry. Go marry right now. Well, this is alarming because a lot of the people that you're going to consider for marriage, they're going to overwhelmingly support you and your son to fully embrace this particular culture. Dwayne Wade comes to mind in this situation. Now, his son has chosen at a young age, under adult age, to fully transition into a woman. All right. A young male decided to transition into a woman. Now, if he was to buck that and he was to say, no, I did not want that, then he would have problems in his household. And you're more than likely going to have a broken home if you are against it. And they're going to overwhelmingly tell you, no. Just accept it. Just accept it. This is what it is. Psychologists who went to the University of California at Berkeley will come in here and tell you for some reason why this should be accepted. Now, again, they can accept it, but if you don't accept it in your heart and you allow it and you let it go and you have your son go into a full transition, then it's going to be against what you wanted or what you intended. Therefore, you're going to have a broken home. So they told you to run out and marry these women. These women, many of these people come from Atlanta, by the way. And if you know anything about Atlanta, they have no problem with men walking around in full high heel. All right. Bald headed with lipstick on. I mean, listen, that's their culture. So if you're listening to somebody from that culture in Atlanta, where this is full blown going, and you marry somebody from that culture or who identifies from that culture, and they accept this 100%, okay, they accept it, then you could probably anticipate them pushing that on your kid. Or if your kid for one day says, I want to wear a mop and a dress today, you will have to understand that they're going to push that kid to the limit. Oh, you want to wear a mop and a dress? You're identifying. Forget the fact that the last 9 years you played with pro wrestling action figures. But this day you've identified, therefore we're going to push it to the envelope. Who did this? It was an actress. I want to say either Gwyneth Paltrow or the other one. I can't remember her name. I'm bad with names, as you guys know. The actress is, she says she's shockingly single. She's one of those tall, big blondies. I can't remember her name. I want to say Uma Thurman, but it's the other. It's not Uma Thurman. Can't remember her name. Anyway, every time I forget a name, everybody's like, how do you forget this person's name? I do. I forget people's names. Yeah, Charlize Theron. I forget people's name. I'll be sitting right next to them. They told me it 50 times. I'll be like, who? My kids always like, you don't know any of my friends because I can't remember their name. They be like, I'm going over Max's house. I'm like, who the hell is that? They've been around for 3-4 years. I'm like, oh, I remember faces. So Charlize Theron, I believe at one time, her black son identified, wanted to wear a dress. And then they were like, oh, you doing barrettes, braids, dresses, beads from here on out. You give one symbol of today I feel like I have a little girl in me. And then they just push it all the way to the limit. All right, so let me show you some examples. Let's go back to sharing because sharing is caring. So you got Russell Westbrook here. You got Kid Cudi fully adopting a dress. For some reason, this is, here he is right here. I apologize that I can't put it all the way in here. What's wrong with this dude right here? His drugs is kicked in pretty well here. In the audience, check the audience representation here. Not very many men here in this audience. All right, just letting you know. He's dressed as a Eazy-E. I don't know what he's doing. Here he is dressed up in his dress. All right, so let's talk about it. Recently, we've seen Lil Nas X portray a pregnant woman. Now, again, look, if people want to do this, fine. I believe Lil Nas X came out as a bi. Again, I don't care where you put your anatomy. I don't wake up every day telling people, you should accept where I push my anatomy. If you don't like where I push my anatomy, all right, but here's the deal. He's representing himself as a pregnant woman. Now, you already know they've been trying to say that, change the language about men being able to menstruate, men able to get pregnant, and he does this. But then when you challenge him and say, this is an agenda, they be like, nope. Why do you say there's agenda? There's no agenda here. We just so happen to have 3 black men, 3 black men in particularly in the last 30 days, dressed in dresses and pregnant. It's a coincidence. Don't be jumping to conclusions here. Kill the conspiracy theories. All right. Let's see here. Let's go in here and talk about this. For black men, this has been something that has been pushed in comedy. First, they want you to laugh at it. Then they want you to accept it. As you can see here, these are the Wayans brothers in White Chicks, dressed in full white girl garb, all right, with the pressed hair and the blue eye contacts, dresses and all. Okay, they've been doing this for quite a while. Even before that, they had Flip Wilson. There's something about, I'm not sure what it is. Somebody might be able to identify this. Because if in our culture today, if they were, let's just say, wanted to transition or be rainbow, be gay, it is fully accepted. People will say, absolutely, go do it. They would be celebrated. So there's no reason to hide it, right? There's no reason to hide it and say, well, he just wants to be embraced for who he really wants to be, but he can't really come out. Why? In our culture, you can fully come out. This is Flip Wilson here in the, I want to say the 70s, maybe late 60s, dressed up as Geraldine. This is the one that kicked it off, but you can probably trace this back to minstrel shows, but I don't know. Okay, I can't really tell you. But in my culture, we have Martin Lawrence, right? Somebody brought up Little Richard. Okay. We've had Prince in our culture, but we've had Martin Lawrence dressed up as Shanae, and then typically they will have a black man dressed up as a large black woman. Okay. An overweight, particularly an overweight type black woman. All right. For some reason in our culture, this is funny. This be funny, right? All right. So you also have the Tyler Perry. I'm going to give you so many examples. It's not even funny. Okay. It's not even funny. And the many examples that I'm going to give you shows you what I call the drip campaign of acceptance, in which they first make it funny and then they then push it to, well, you thought this was funny. Why don't you just accept it? Where they weaken you down. Hey, you've laughed at this and you've made jokes of it for years. How about this? I've got so many examples here. Let's see. I'm trying to stay on brothers right here. All right, particularly the women in the community that says, let's see. We need to save our community. We need to save our black men. All right, here we go right here. Let's go to Tu Wong Fu. So you have, what's his name? Patrick Swayze. They picked a white man, a black man, and a Latino man and said, you know what? Let's throw them all together and have them dress up as women. This is Wesley Snipes. This is John Leguizamo and Patrick Swayze. Okay. Ving Rhames. They will take a overly masculine man. Leguizamo, right? They will take a very, very much a masculine man. All right, this guy, Ving Rhames, if you ever seen him, this dude is a big, large man, okay? But then what they'll do is they'll say, you know what would be funny? Let's dress him up like a woman, all right? Like, how? Like, who says that's going to be funny? For the umpteenth time, I've seen it already. And then eventually it'll turn into this. Well, it'll turn into, you've seen dozens of men dressing dresses before. What's the difference now? Why are you mad that this dude's right here is the fairy godmother in Cinderella? See, you can say it's a ritual, but I can say it's more in-depth training for you to get prepared for this. Now, I want you to think of a masculine guy. I know people are saying it's ritual. I can understand that. The Hollywood elites and all of that stuff are going to push this envelope into full acceptance. And these men have to, in order to reach the next level, okay, they have to participate in this. If they don't, then they can't reach out to the next level. And guys, you got to understand, you guys are like, what next level? What next level? Guys, there is another level to this life. You guys are in entry level. What did I call it? You guys are in entry level number 2 as a Crimson Capsule consumer. Because you were in the Matrix blue pill, you're on level 1. You ain't gonna understand. Let me put this off right here. As a Crimson Capsule guy, you've only stepped, and most of you guys are Crimson Capsule only when it comes to women. And then as soon as you go back into the regular world, you blue pill beta as hell. Especially brothers that be running around here talking all that pro-black stuff. You in level 1. You ain't even on the level that Russell Westbrook is on. See, they're on level 5. They're already trying to achieve whatever it is on the other side that we haven't been exposed to. Somebody's already walked them over there. They gave them the riches. They gave them all the money. And now they're going to walk them over and show them where they can go. These people are trying to live eternal. You know what I mean? They're trying to achieve spirituality on a different level. They got all the money. They got all the money they want. They got access to everything they want. They've had all the women in however position in a pretzel as they wanted. They've had 1 woman, 2 women, 3 women, 5 women at a time, succeeding them. They don't care. Now they want to achieve a level that we're not even exposed to, right? Where they're going to be celebrated into eternity, where their spirit is going to be guided into another level. They're going to cross over. And then they expose you to it. And then ultimately you're left to try to figure this out in your blue pill or your red pill journey. And again, most of you guys are strictly red pill when it comes to women, but then you're out here blue pill beta as hell about everything else. You'll run to the rescue and cape in a second to a OnlyFans, a stripper. And they'll come out and try to Me Too somebody and you'll go and cape. You'll turn blue pill in a minute. Let's do some super chats, and then I'm going to get back to showing you some of this history of them prepping you for this. At some point, let me say this and I'll go to the super chats. What you're seeing pushed is not for you to accept. I want you to remember that. What you're being shown today with Russell Wilson, Lil Nas X, and Kid Cudi, and then we'll go through the history of this, it is not for you to accept. It's for the kids under you to accept. So you're going to look at it and you're immediately going to dismiss it. But there's going to be kids 13 and under who saw Russell Westbrook as their Michael Jordan, and they are going to be the ones who grow up and say, yeah, I saw my hero in the dress. The same as when Jamie Foxx, the same as when Martin Lawrence, the same when these other brothers did it. Now you're fully prepared for these guys to do it. They're not prepping you. Okay? They already know that you already going to be against it. What they want is to get your son. They want to get your nephew. They want to get all of them looking at it and being, Okay. This is why they're overwhelmingly targeted. Remember the San Francisco Choir came out and they said it was a joke. Oh, they were like, don't worry. We're targeting your children. We're going to get your kids. Guys, this is what it is. All right, let me do some super chats and stop messing around here. 2D Universe, crazy how fashion for men involves feminine wear, like we can't make battle armor fashionable. Yeah, why don't they hyper masculinize men? See, there's something in there that if you want to see the ritual thing, we don't understand. Not everybody can comprehend that. Not everybody can comprehend that. So what is it then? Why is it then? Is it for humor? Is it for attention? If you're looking at it outside the ritual part, okay, what is it then? Are they just humiliating and buck breaking Russell Westbrook? Or are they trying to send a message to you and your son? Derek Davis, good morning, coach. Give me that Price is Right sound. That's for Westbrook and Lil Nas X. Nope. Yeah, Dylan Z will convert your children. Guys, this isn't for us. This is for us to discuss and give them more attention. But your kid is going to see it scrolling through their Instagram. Oh, there's Russell Westbrook, my favorite NBA star. They did this to us with Dennis Rodman. But Dennis Rodman was seen as eccentric already, and we knew he was marketing. This is less marketing. I believe Russell Westbrook believes that he's doing a good thing, right? Lyndon Henry, free agent lifestyle, got me shouting out from Panama. Coach gang, been neither gender nor the knee. Been neither gender or knee. Shout out to you in Panama. I got to go to Panama. Is it good? I had a mentor that was from Panama. I better brush up on my Spanish, man. My Spanish is lacking. But shout out to the brothers. And there's some brothers, African brothers in Panama. You know, black men. All right, King Kalamac. Pass my MSF course. We'll buy a bike this Saturday. Shout out to you. Congratulations for taking the best step of learning how to ride a motorcycle, which is taking your MSF course. Best thing you're going to ever do. It's going to teach you how to ride and ride safely as opposed to trying to learn in the hood with no helmet on in New York. King Caleb Max says, by the way, coach, I've missed your last 10 videos. It's all right. You'll catch up. I've been to the Dominican. I might come back at some point. Darth Vader stance. Had a fling with a post-wall single mother. She got mad at me for having a backbone and tried to withhold peace leave from me. But she don't know I've been coached already. Guys, they do the same thing, man. Look, I literally stopped dating women in advanced stage. I just can't do it anymore. I've had it. I've had it because they still believe. We're going to talk about maybe a little bit later that woman that met the guy on Tinder and then gave him like a 17-page agreement that you don't have any leverage, ladies. You're going to hold some peace leave from me, but I'm out of here. I don't have time with that. But if you stand up on your square as a man today, they try to manipulate you with sex to get you to conform. And if you're weak, you'll bow down. If you're weak, you'll bow down. King Kalamax says, in my MSF course, a 22-year-old white guy was getting passed down his father's business while my mother passed me unpaid $1,300 electric bill she ran up in my name. Yeah, black people love to cry racism. Let me give them a buzzer. Black people, I've always told people this: racism is the least of your concerns. The very least. It's at the tier near bottom. You don't believe me because you're blue pilled. I get it. You guys will not believe me. Your own people have set you back decades. I mean, decades. White people don't have to do anything anymore. And that's what you're going to say is institutional racism. You guys shoot yourself in the own foot these days. There's too much information out here. Now the pro-blacks are going to cry. It's damn near the bottom. I mean, how many of you brothers actually went outside and some racist stuff happened to you? Nobody. Now, how many times have you just been innocently doing something and you've been reminded that you were a slave? Like you were just doing nothing. Oh, there's a new slave movie coming out. For the 450th time. Like, why do we have to keep repeating this information? All right, here's another slave movie. They just keep reminding your ass. And you know who does it? Who puts out these movies? Like the KKK, white supremacists. Like, who puts out these movies? White liberals. And why do you think they put them out? Remind your ass of your place. Do not get out of line. We're going to remind you what we used to do to your ass. Anyway, Jeremiah frowns. Girls pick up dolls and become nurses because they relate to relationships, and boys pick up cars and become engineers because they relate to things. This is how people select jobs. This is how they select jobs. Women typically are going to go into service-oriented, hands-on with people, social jobs. This is like 90% of them. Every now and then you might have somebody who overwhelmingly wants to become an engineer, or they push them towards engineerism. That's totally fine. I knew a young lady that I trained in this area, basketball player. She was a nice, tall. She's about a 6'1". I think she was black or mixed. I only knew the father. I've never seen the mom. Tall, she's going to be a very beautiful woman in the future here. I think I stopped training her about 4 or 5 years ago, so she might have graduated from college. This young lady was really focused on her STEM. She was a 4.5 GPA, taking all honors courses, excelling in STEM, biology, and science. Rare. She's a rarity. All right. She was on it at 16, 17. So you're going to always find one of these people like that. But most of them are going to be like, all right, I'll be a nurse. Forget it. And they'll be wiping asses and changing bedpans and cleaning dudes' balls. All right. That's what they'll be doing for the rest of their life. But that's what they're going to be. That's what they're kind of nurtured. They're kind of oriented to those type of things. Men, on the other hand, are not really going to go into those careers, but they can. Not that many, though. Face facts. This is black male emasculation. White men, if you ignore, you'll be next. Look at family law as an example. Excellent point there, but I'm going to give you some examples of white men already being programmed and pushed to this. All right, hit the like button in here. There's a lot of people in here mad right now. Demetrius Ross, speaking of Ving Rhames, anyone remember Pulp Fiction? Don't be mad at me, but I've never seen that movie. I've been seeing a lot of movies. Where's the vision? What's up, man? PJ Washington allegedly back to simping for IG models again. What a buffoon. Weak men create hard times. Everyone free agent for themselves. And this is the whole thing about free agent lifestyle. It's a philosophy where you can go off into your own world by yourself. Okay, this isn't like the red pill where you identify with a group. When you say free agent lifestyle, chapter 3, do not box yourself in. Don't box yourself into the BS that most blue pillars, people who are just, sheeple, matrix, people in the matrix, they're going to try to box you in. Oh, this is what you're supposed to be. All right, this is what you're supposed to do. Ironically, you got to do everything but be a man and strong. Do everything in weakness. Free agent is about taking your identity, creating your own identity for yourself to protect yourself, protect your manhood and your masculinity. They obviously don't want you to have it. Let's look at it. Let's look at some examples. Take the most masculine man right here. One of the most masculine men in our country would be The Rock. All right. If you think let me think the picture of masculinity for women. Now, for women, they didn't grow up on The Rock like men grew up on The Rock. Okay. For men, we grew up on The Rock as, WWF The Rock, the brow beaten, ass beaten, pie eating, whatever he calls himself. And what happens is they think Rock is this nice, gentle giant, 6'5", chiseled from stone. And The Rock plays this image down perfectly. I remember Angry Man Valdez, shout out to him. I believe I was watching him one time and he said, The Rock is in this weird parallel universe where he does right for everybody. He's liked by everybody. He also made a mistake during the election by coming out for Joe Biden because he never really makes a stance on anything. He's in a soft zone of acceptance by everybody, men, women, children, white, black, Samoan. Like he really doesn't identify as anything. At best, he'll identify with his Samoan mother lineage. Okay, his father was African-American or black. All right. His mother is Samoan. And so he'll identify with that. That's the closest you'll get to him identifying to anything. And so he's in a soft zone of being accepted by everybody. Even he, for the people who came Johnny come lately, even The Rock has crossed this line. He has worn the dress. And as you can see, everybody thinks it's funny. Now, what is it? Somebody please explain. Why take a 6'5" man, a brute? He's in his Steve Harvey suit right there. This is him with his second wife. Why take a man who is known for being, kind of a kick-ass ass beater, a linebacker at the University of Miami? Why take this man and put him in a dress? I'm just wondering. And is it funny? Look at how these people here, white liberals again, and then this is the handler. This is the handler of the man right here. Because this woman's going to identify, oh, yes, I identify your plight. I'm going to go to the Black Lesbian March with you, right? The Rock isn't, I don't know if he's blue. The Rock is not dumb. All right. Let me just say that. And what we're talking about is The Rock doesn't care about his status here. He's going to the next level. What about this? Again, these are all examples. There's A-Rod. Remember this challenge? They call it Flip the Switch. I think it was a Drake song. And then they would dress up like this, like normal. That's even a word. And then when they flip the switch, she would be wearing his clothes and then he would be wearing her clothes. For some reason, and somebody please explain, why is this so funny? I'm just asking. Because many people did it. You know what would be funny? And nobody ever thought that she was being funny. It never was funny that she wore the man clothes. It was like you were waiting to see the switch flip, and you were waiting to see the man in the woman's clothes, right? Why is that funny? I never found any of these flip the switch challenges very funny. John Cena. So we're talking about white dudes here. What is the fascination of having men, especially so-called masculine men, you would assume are masculine? They're certainly built in a man way like He-Men. Why is this funny? Does anybody find it funny? After a while, after you see it for the umpteenth time, you have to go, what is going on? Eventually, they're going to get you here and they're going to say, well, if you don't accept this, something's wrong with you. And you go, wow, even this, like, why? I'm going down this list. All right. We talked about these guys right here, white chicks. We talked about Martin Lawrence. You guys have been already accepting him putting down black women. And let me just tell you something. The Generation Xers in the 90s, you were overly programmed to be who you are today. Okay. If you were overly obsessed with gangbanging, thugging, programmed like this, these black overly ethnic, what you would call a ghetto stereotypical black woman, you saw these images portrayed in movies and you mimicked them, right? As opposed to you becoming that and then they mimicking you. So there was a small percentage of people who were these people. They put them out on television and then you mimic them. Gangster rap. Gangster rap. Being a gangster was a small percentage of people in the community at one point in the 80s. Then overwhelmingly, it became a large percentage of people. And then you tried to mimic them. And then R&B people started to dress as gangbangers. Right? We overwhelmingly embraced this, but that's because it was shown to you on television. We talked about Flip Wilson. Here's some particularly people here. This is on BET. Let's see if this will play for us. These are men in the last 10, 20 years that have been pushing this envelope, right? This is Magic Johnson's. This is Young Thug. Young Thug, who is a rapper named Young Thug, but he wants to dress in this dress right here. There's going to be some other people here. They might not let me play it here because, this is Lil B. This is Lil B. This is a rapper, right? I mean, again, for the umpteenth time, is this an agenda? Is this funny? What do you want us to accept from this? We've already seen it. This is Magic Johnson's son. Okay. This is one of the America's Top Model judges. I'm not sure who that is. These are one of the Atlanta brothers that I was talking about. Full high heels, bald head, lipstick, right? You be you, boo. I really don't care. I don't know who that is. Andre 3000, they're saying wear a dress. Eccentric character there. Prince has always overwhelmingly worn blouses and high heels and lipstick and makeup and such. But they said he was a masculine guy. I'm not sure. I don't know who that is. All right, so let me go to the next slide here. This is Jamie Foxx. This is Jamie Foxx dressed as Shanae. Wait. Shanae. I think it's Shanae. And then this is him getting another man to do the exact same thing. Who is this guy right here? I don't know if they're mimicking, put the dress on, be comfortable here. There's something going on here. Yeah, Prince was the androgynous, right? There's something going on here. What is this going on here? We need to know. And if you're the person that gets on here overwhelmingly saying black men need to get married, and particularly these are all these lukewarm Christian women, why are you pushing this too? Why do you accept this? I'm just asking. This is a question. If you believe in the marriage, if you believe in the black family, if you believe in men being men and leading your family, why then do you say it's okay? Oh, it's Wanda. Shanae was Martin Lawrence. Okay. Yeah, Jamie Foxx is Wanda. Why didn't you then celebrate? This is why do you celebrate men doing this? There was a movie called Joanna Man. See, this is what I'm trying to show you. This isn't just a one-off. When you look at Russell, this is why I don't want to come out seeming like I'm attacking Russell or Lil Nas X or Kid Cudi, because it was done in our time. This was done in our time. They got you ready for this. They put out an entire movie of a man dressing as a woman to be in the WNBA, right? So guys, don't complain today. Don't say, oh man, they're doing this now to get you. No, they've been already doing this. It's already been here. This is Joanna Man, in which a man plays in the WNBA, the early WNBA. We talked about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry made an entire franchise on a 6'8" black woman, an overgrown black woman. He's been doing this since the 90s. Okay, what about let's see here. Somebody says Vic Mensa. Let me see if I could get right here. I grew up in the 80s. Bosom buddies. Tom Hanks. Again, one of these establishment, blue pill, white liberals, right? He got his start, his main start, dressing up in a comedy show called Bosom Buddies back in the 80s, in which these men, I can't remember what the point was, but these men were dressed as women so they could go to work. All right. They do wear purses, lipstick. All right. Tom Hanks. This is your boy. This is your boy, Tom Hanks, whose son is Gangbanger. Or I don't know what his son is. Tom Hanks. All right. Even Jack Tripper had to participate as a alternative lifestyle guy in Three's Company to live with two women. Right. This is what's happening. Robin Williams. Right. Here we go. Robin Williams, who later couldn't take it anymore and deleted himself, probably in a effort to make some money. He said, hell, I'll wear the dress too. I'll wear the dress too. He participated in this as well. And we were programmed. What did they do? Oh, Mrs. Doubtfire, that's a fantastic movie. And then we're here. And then men want to complain. Guys, it's too late. It's too late. Let's go back. Let's give you some other examples here. Tootsie, Dustin Hoffman, who Dustin Hoffman played in a lot of great movies before Tootsie came along. Dustin Hoffman played in again with names. He was I believe an Academy, at least a nominated Academy Award winner by the time he dresses as a woman. Tootsie. This is in the 80s, gentlemen. This is in the 80s. This isn't new. For some reason, and I want somebody to explain this. Most of these things that we're showing you are comedies in which they first get you to joke about it, and then they put, what is so funny about the next man, the 100th man, to dress like a woman? What about this one? I got Tu Wong Fu. Arnold Schwarzenegger has even done it. Look at this guy. He's got the pearls. He's got the Karen from the 1990s Karen. Arnold Schwarzenegger has done the dress up like a woman. What is so funny? I'm just asking. We're in a weird world where this is supposed to be funny. Milton Berle, even in the 60s, dressed up. I believe there also was Something Like It Hot, the movie. Who's the actor that I like? Jack Lemmon in Something Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe, the famous scene where she's standing on the gutter, and then her dress blows up. Something Like It Hot, I believe that's the movie. They dressed as two men dressed as a woman. So this thing, look at this is Milton Berle. Yeah, man. Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon, right? And Something Like It Hot. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of movies. People are kind of coming in late now, but people are naming things that I already named, right? Tu Wong Fu, Milton Berle. We got the Cinderella, Arnold. All right, I'll go back. Vin Rain. All right, Tu Wong Fu, Tootsie. All right, where are we at here? Mrs. Doubtfire, Bosom Buddies, Tom Hanks. All right, you're gonna see that a lot of these people have, Medea. A lot of these people have overwhelmingly taken on great roles since they dressed as a woman. All right, let's see here. Jamie Foxx, Academy Award winner eventually, right? Flip Wilson. Who else? Martin Lawrence. Eddie Murphy has done it as well too. The Wayans brothers. Cena. A-Rod. My man Dwayne. Yeah, John Travolta in Hairspray. I was going to pull it up, but John Travolta's already over on that side. Let me do some super chats. Can somebody explain why was that funny when so many people already done it? Even Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall did the cross-dressing thing. At some point they go, you know what we'll do for funny is we'll dress these people up as women and it's going to be funny. Dave Chappelle bucked this tradition. He bucked it. He was like, I'm not going to be the one. Hell no. I'm going to read that article after this. Vincent Dean Jr. People forget Bruce Jenner got a Woman of the Year award. You know who wants you to forget about that? ESPN. They want you to forget. Again, that was a heavily pushed thing that they wanted to do, but now they're trying to erase it because the new person that came in, not the CEO, but the new person that came in said, we're going to get rid of those identity politics because they lost so many subscribers. So now they're headed back mostly promoting not too much politics for the most part, except in house. In house, they're promoting the politics, but they're ran by Disney. Okay, enough said, right? But they want you to forget, when was the last time you saw ESPN run a commercial about we were so progressively ahead of the thing that we gave Bruce Jenner, aka not Kendall Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, an award? You haven't seen a clip of that in a minute. You have to go on to YouTube to see a clip. ESPN doesn't run that clip anymore. They want you to forget about that. Joe says, California coach gang fans, vote yes on the recall election tomorrow or today. Consider Larry Elder. Let's bring common sense back. All right. Good luck to everybody in California. You guys have an election. There's already been ballot harvesting going on. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be tough. There's already mail out ballots. I didn't even ask for one. They sent me one. So it's going to be crazy. A real one says, in the I told you to vote for Biden clip, the young man says, stop worshiping these people like they're gods. What's your take on that? That's true. What he said was true, but eventually he's going to be told that, you know, these people are going to make a difference in their lives. Okay, so he's already a wise man at 18. He's like, these people aren't going to change my life. These people aren't God. And he sees the overzealous nature of his mother worshiping these people. And I know you guys who come in here and say, I worship politicians. I don't. I think it's important. But in the grand scheme of things, your local civics is more important than this presidency, because these people at the presidency are selected many times to be in the position that they're in. And if you're wondering what clip he's talking about this one.
Hey, I told you to do Biden. Now we done lost a damn vote. We done lost a vote. That's gonna go to Trump. God damn.
I'm worshiping these people like they're fucking God.
Ain't nobody worshiping them. But God damn it, Chris, we need somebody in there with motherfucking sense.
Well, those are the people here that overwhelmingly push that particular group of people in. All right, that's what they did. And so you'll have them to thank in the future. You guys didn't realize what you were doing, but you know, it's unfortunate. A lot of people don't know. They don't see the big picture. They don't see the global. Again, you guys are literally on level 1 or 2 of life. I would venture to say most everything that you say or do in your life, you're literally programmed to do. And depending on what community you've come from, the programming is either, largely something that you can never break, or you've already broken it. Like I just kind of look at how people operate. What they'll do is they'll get up 9 to 5, go punch the clock, do their job, come back, walk their dogs, live in a coupledom, and then sit back and watch TV from 7:30 to 10 o'clock, go to sleep, wake up, repeat. Now that's the suburban white couple. Like that's what they do. If you break any of that, black men, you guys always think it's tough out here for you to make the stance that you make in the Crimson Capsule. Guys, we have it easier because we've already had our communities ravaged, and we've already kind of promote hypersexuality and single motherhood and sex without connections, and we've already bucked that trend. So for us to walk away, us to say save yourself, it's much easier for us. When you talk about white men that say, I'm going my own way, I'm not supporting the system anymore, I'm living on my own, I'm going to live in the Philippines, you are bucking the system. Like you're going way out. That means you're not going to punch the clock. You're not going to be ham and egger. You're not going to 9 to 5. You're not going to find a woman, move her in. You're not going to get 2 dogs. You're not going to have 2.2 kids. You're not going to come home, walk your dog together, go upstairs, do the routine, help each other in the kitchen, eat, walk the dog, pick up the poop, pick up the kids from school, take them to soccer practice, buy a house. You're not going to do that. What? You're really messing up the system. Black guys, it's almost like it's no choice. We have to walk away. I'll show you the stats related to that. Eric Hobbs, remember, There's a reason why they call it TV programming. They are programming you men. Stay focused. And as you guys also have realized on that, the less people that have watched television and they're starting to watch YouTube with people with independent thoughts, the more things are changing in the system. The media has recognized that. That's why they invaded YouTube in around 2019, 2020. About 2019, they invaded YouTube and they got YouTube to switch over and push their television shows. The late night shows and CNN and the news medias, they came in. And at that time, YouTube had a tough decision. They were like, well, all these independent YouTubers, they make us good money, but these mainstream television shows, they want a part of the YouTube thing. And then YouTube was going to push all of us out. They were like, get out. They started making it hard on us. They started putting harsher guidelines and, more things were marked as hate speech. So YouTube, they almost sold out more or less to the mainstream media, but something happened. You know what happened? The Rona, the beer virus happened, in which these programs were no longer able to be produced. So right around 2020, you started seeing all these late night shows being pushed, the typical programming, the typical left leaning, the typical demeanist. And then all of those productions got shut down. Now they couldn't produce anything. Now they couldn't have their script writers prepare them with monologues that always pushed you into the programming. And then guess what? They were like, uh-oh. Now we got to go to the other people who were producing these contents. This is why now our numbers started going up right around that time. Mainstream media couldn't produce enough stuff. And then right around then, people started sitting at home, and then our numbers went up. Because they stopped blocking it. They stopped shadow banning it. They stopped doing it, censoring as they did before. They can no longer take that mainstream money. And so the mainstream now they'll come back. But it is what it is. Everyday Valet. Hold on for a second. Dang. Am I this far back? Everyday Valet. I read an article about how Jeff Bezos is learning to cheat death and live forever. Bruh, if you don't believe that that's not going on, there are these people who are ultra rich billionaires. They're trying to beat death right now. They're trying to move to the moon. They're trying to take as many resources as they can with them. Some people don't believe this is happening. They're like, nah. Dude, rich people have done this in the past. Cryogenics. These people thought that they were going to beat death, come back, put their body on ice in cryo. And then when it's time, who did that? Walt Disney allegedly. These people are doing this. You don't think Jeff Bezos is trying to not live forever? He's trying to live forever as long as he can. They don't want to die. Talk about cloning people and all that. They're already buying real estate in places that you don't have access to. You think they're just going to work and die and then no, they don't want that. They want to go to the next level. What can we get to next? How long can I be here? Can I cheat death? Can I be God? Yeah, Michael Jackson type of stuff. They don't want to die. And so we're in our red pill journey, right? Most of you guys are in your blue pill journey. These people are on step 5. Money doesn't mean anything to them other than them trying to survive and cheat the whole life system. Yeah. Source Joros. Face Fact says Dr. Umar married 2 single moms, but by the simp agent lifestyle by Umar Johnson. Is he a doctor? He married 2 single mamas. Well, he's saving the community one stepfather at a time. Somebody says no one can cheat death. I don't think so, but they're trying to. I guarantee you they're trying to figure out a way to not croak. The Suze Minor prolonged peace. Prolonged peace rots society. CCP is taking notes from the U.S. and enforcing the opposite. 4,000 simp fan club and influencer accounts are now being deleted. Well, if you look at our society, we haven't been in war for a long time. I know we've been to Afghanistan but we haven't had a world war or something where men were threatened to be drafted. In the United States, we don't have men that need to go to the military for 2 years. Like, I think Israel has that. A lot of other countries have that, where men had to go and serve. Does the United Kingdom have that? J Flo says, stop bringing political. Where's my guy? And so now we have a situation where we literally have women complaining. I'm going to show a video. Do I have the video? Somebody sent me a video of a woman complaining that the towels aren't big enough in Bed Bath & Beyond. This is where we're at. This was not a small woman either. She was a very large woman. You can see that she was very large. And she's in the Bed Bath & Beyond, wrapping towels around her, complaining that the towels aren't made big enough. This is what he's talked about. Prolonged peace rots society. It's crazy that we don't have that in the UK. But let's just say did Prince Harry serve? Why did he serve? Channel 1800 says, quick shout to the brother Coachy. Bless, y'all can't stay watching. Likes up, fellas. There's a comment there. Hey, man, hit them likes. Death and taxes are guaranteed. All right. Mdo, I had a sophomore Kaylee hit on me. A 39-year-old dark-skinned Viet dude. He says childhood is much better when you're older, especially when soy is everywhere. Mdo, I'm telling you, man, you got to take that leap, guys. I know it's tough. You guys are used to taking leftovers and dating single moms. And I've already told you, those women are off the table for me. We might be able to have fun a couple of times. It's only going to take me 1 or 2 times. And then I'm going to see that busted Pillsbury biscuit can. And I'm going to be like, I can't do it no more. There was a time where I would accept all of that, but I just can't do it. I've already transitioned into the life of the junior college female. All right. And I ain't coming back anytime soon. And once I'm done with them, I'm going to just chill out and go into monk mode. Once I can't no longer deal with them, because you have to talk to them. Young women are great. When you sitting across from one looking at them, they fantastic. I just can't deal with no more double chins anymore. I can't deal with any more varicose veins. All right. Any more pockets of overweight lumps of globular fat attached to I can't do it anymore. I can't go back to gorditas. I can't. I mean, I'll hire you to make me tacos and all that stuff, but I'm not just going to bang you out. So I've already transitioned on the side of there are young women that hang with older dudes like me for free or a fee. If she wants 20 fistful of 20s, here's a fistful of 20s. Have at it. Spank her on the butt. Go send her back to going to nightclubs. All right, come see me on 2 days a week. That's all I need. I just can't do it anymore, ladies. Saddlebags, jowls, frown lines. You know what I can't handle the most? This is what I can't handle the most. Now that we're on the subject matter, we've kind of talked about the subject here. This is what I can't handle the most. Is that, hold up.
What happened? Where did all the men go?
They want me to take them seriously. They're like, oh yeah, it's time now. I'm looking for, this is what they sound like right here. Where is it? This is what they sound like. And they be like, considerably 40 pounds heavier than they were. And that's lowballing it. 40 pounds heavier than they were 10, 15 years ago. All right. Complaining about the men won't commit. And this is what they sound like. Where's my girl? Oh, shoot. Oh, here she is right there. Imagine this woman, 2 kids, job. She works 60 hours a week. She got dogs, cats. She's sitting there like, I just want a man to be in a relationship with.
I just want a man who's going to make my heart melt and my pussy throb. I am too horny to be single. Someone better start acting right and wife me the fuck up.
I want to be married in the future. Like married? You mean like what 2 young people do? And they walk down the aisle and they have time to share with each other and grow? You're just going to marry somebody, mix them into your old family, your broken home, in your wrecked up home and your poor finances, you just want to mix somebody in. I can't take them seriously anymore. I can't sit across from them and have even a logical conversation. It makes my stomach hurt. Like, it makes me feel like I have gas or I'm experiencing heartburn. And they be generally nice women, but they're putting on an act. Oh, everything's right. And I have my life together and I'm not lonely and I just need a good man and I'm looking to marry. I'll be a good wife. I'll be a good woman. Nope. Look, fistful of 20s. I'll enjoy my time. Here's dinner. Let me bend you and fold you up like a napkin, and then let's keep on with life. I can't take them seriously. I'm like, damn, look at where you are in your life, bro. Then they be complaining.
Okay, so this is for all of my single over 30 people. Is anybody else just over this hookup culture? I mean, I get it. I'm online. I'm trying all these things, but like, what happened to romance? What happened to, a little bit of chivalry? Whatever happened to all of the nice things that men used to do instead of everyone asking us, what are you doing? Can I come through? Is there any real men out there at all? I don't know. Help me out.
You need some help. You need some help, ma'am. It's over for you.
And that's you.
And I'm like, ma'am, are we having this conversation? What the hell are you talking about? You had your chance. Your best man has been long gone. You had your chance way back 10, 15 years ago, but you didn't want to settle down. And that's fine with me. But do not put these standards on me. As that one guy said, Dennis Sperling was quoting somebody else. He said, he was talking about black women in particular, but they said these women are out here. They're better at choosing stepfathers than they are choosing biological fathers. They'll recklessly choose any man to have seed with, but they very careful all of a sudden. Well, you need to fit this list to raise another man's seed. I'm not coming into your wrecked up life.
To me actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
I can't sit up and see you sitting up on that stool, belly all pushed up, everything all pushed up. Like, how do I even hug these people, man?
To me actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
Jesus. No, thank you, ma'am. Fistful of 20s from me. Coach, that's tricking. No, it ain't. I'm tricking my mind out of not settling for leftovers. That's what I'm tricking myself out of. Hell with all that. I can't do it anymore, gentlemen. You can do it. Y'all can save the community. I'm not doing it no more. No more low. I can't. My man Locks Key Men's Fashion says The Rock in the movie Be Cool. So The Rock has already done this already. Brown 310, tired of all these Mitches, hit me with the stack girls. All right, shout out to my man Brown. Good to see you last night on the live stream.
Hey, sucking dick for a stack. 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 Period. Sucking dick for a stack. Sucking dick for a stack. Sucking dick for a stack. Sucking dick for a stack.
Jesus. Hey, it's happening right now, man. It's happening right now. We live in a weird culture right now. But yes, I'm not marrying up these people in this culture. We need to save the community. No, not my ass. Let it die. Let it burn. Channel 1800 says this is not comedy gold, coach. This is twist by the evil one, or this is twisted by the evil one, just the beginning. This is twisted by the evil one. It is twisted. It is twisted. Hugo Fernandez, they are trying to blur the line between masculinity and femininity and push, do you know what agenda? Well, it's clear, but if you say that, you're a conspiracy theorist. Now, I don't know why people are still labeling people conspiracy theorists, because a lot of things that have been said over the last couple of years, 10, 20 years, have become true. And then people just gloss over it. Oh, it's not old. And then all of a sudden it shows up and they're like, oh, well. Jeremiah Franz, Satan emasculates men to tear down God's creation. Okay, this is my question, Jeremiah. This is my question. as much as we see these things being portrayed, I gave you countless examples here. So it's not me being, you can't label me as being homophobic. I don't mind if that's who you are. But I gave you example after example over the years. Okay. Now, my question is, why don't you then see on the opposite side the promotion of masculinity today? Because in the same time they're doing these things, the same time they came up with the campaign and the lingo toxic masculinity, in which they're saying be everything other than masculine. And if you were trying to be masculine, then you're wrong. You're in the wrong as a man. Or if you're as a man, you see these things and you call it out. You're being toxic or phobic or ism or ist. And I didn't give you one example. I gave you countless examples of this happening. Why is there not an agenda, the opposite, the opposing agenda? Or if you oppose this, why are you being canceled if you oppose this? That tells me then that is an agenda. Because if I can't oppose this or say, well, you know, that's nice and all, but I choose to raise my son masculine. Well, when you say that, you're toxic. Please explain. And so they do this year after year, person after person. All of a sudden, these people disappear from planet Earth after they do this ritual. Okay, if you want to call it a ritual. After they do this, then you hear from them no more. Okay, Dave Chappelle said right here. Okay, Dave Chappelle actually said, Dave Chappelle doesn't wear dresses. This is April 2006. After he came out and said that he was going to step down from his show because I was doing sketches that were funny but socially irresponsible, he says it was encouraged. It was encouraged. There it is right here. He said to Oprah Winfrey, I was doing sketches that were funny but socially irresponsible. It was encouraged. He left his show, left money on the table, and they said he went crazy, right? They did the spin doctor stuff on him. He went and took steroids injections like crazy, and he started talking about it. As for the black community who succumbed to the temptations to demean and degrade their race, the list is endless. Just this week, there's I don't even know who this person is here, but it's a black Brit sashaying her way to fortune in ignominy and kinky boots. Theaters recently featured Tyler Perry's humiliating all 6'6" of his mad black woman in Medea's family reunion. Earlier, the crowds lined up for creepy Martin Lawrence in the Big Mama's House series and the goofy Wayne brothers for white chicks. Such comedic humiliation increasingly features a black man in a dress mocking elderly, overweight women in movies. This motif in Hollywood films is ripe with overtones of emasculation. Who is this? Who wrote this? You couldn't get away with this today. This is a journal. This is the St. Louis American in 2006. It says right here, this aspect of Chappelle's resistance to Hollywood's casual attempts to get him in a dress were overlooked by the news media in reporting on the Oprah interview. So when he said this in the interview, they didn't highlight that. Quote, I see that they put every black man in the movie in a dress at some point in his career, Chappelle says. For a scene with Martin Lawrence in Blue Streak, the writers had Chappelle's character getting disguised as a prostitute. Quote, Chappelle, I'm not doing that. He said, quote, and unquote, I don't feel comfortable with it. The filmmaker persisted, quote, but all the great ones have done it. Woo! So for you people that say this is not a ritual, here is Dave Chappelle in the industry saying that they're pushing it, encouraging it, they're browbeating him, and they're literally trying to get him to do it to say all the great ones have done it. After digging his heels, Chappelle was told about the production money his resistance was costing every minute. You're costing us money. Just wear the dress. The comedian persisted. Quote, David Chappelle, I don't need a dress to be funny, he said. What am I, Milton Berle? Okay, let's go back. This is who he was referencing right here. I don't need a dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? There's Bob Hope, Milton Berle. Let's see here. What else does he say? The director and producers were brought in as negotiations escalated. They want him to do it. They want him to do it. Why? My question is why? Okay, it's not funny. Okay, I'm an actor. At that point, he wasn't Dave Chappelle, he was today. I don't want to do it. Can y'all come up with another idea? And they're saying, no, get in the dress. Now you have to say why. That's when you cross the line right there. That's when you go, this is why. Quote, it really would be great if Dave wore the dress, he recalls the director saying. The dress was non-negotiable until Dave made it clear that, quote, I'm not wearing a dress. Just as suddenly, the scriptwriters retreated to their computers and rewrote the scene for Chappelle. He said, quote, unquote, you've got to take a stance. Oh, let's get back to these super chats. But again, now you're going to see, let's just take it here. Let's just say Russell Wilson. I told you I'm going to say it. Russell Westbrook. Russell Wilson too. If you don't marry a stepmother, if you don't try to clean up the community, if you don't try to save the community one stepfather at a time, if you don't wear the dress, what do? They write your ass off. Oh, you're not going to participate? You're canceled. You're done. You're not a man. You're a phobic. You're an ism. You're an ist. How come I just don't want to put on a dress? How come I just don't want to marry a stepmother? I don't want to be confined to those rules anymore. I don't want to do it. In our culture, they cancel you for it. You can't have the opposing view. Why? My question is why? I'm not ist. You guys can do whatever you want. Hey, guys, when I leave West Hollywood, I leave it to y'all. Y'all do whatever the hell y'all want to do. I never go in there and say, this is an abomination. I never even bother you people. Yeah, you people. I never even ask. I never even worry about it. But then when they tell me to accept it, I say, why? Can anybody tell me why? They can't tell you why. They'll just, like the producers in the movie, if you don't do it, you're costing us millions. You're costing us our ritual. You're costing us our promotion, our propaganda. It's crazy, man. Joe Barboza, some people think that other races hate them. Maybe their disagreement is more based on their aptitude, attitude, manners, and social skills. Well, I was at the Cheesecake Factory last night in Marina Del Rey, and with some junior college, by the way. And yes, there were some stacks involved. No, or there were some succeed involved, but there wasn't many stacks involved, but there was some succeed anyway. Too much. Now, if I say that, something's wrong with me. See, this is what I'm tired of. But I was there at Marina Del Rey Cheesecake Factory, and there were some black people there. Mostly it was a mixed group. But you guys know LA. There was some black people there, and I don't know, they were on the ghetto level. Like, they were screaming. There was a dude there. He looked like a 48-year-old gangbanger that lived with his mama. Like, he was all out of sorts. He was all out of shape. They were disrespecting the waiter. All right. Me and the junior colors girl were looking, and we were sitting there like, what the hell's going on? And their attitudes made people look at them their way. Their attitudes made people look at them and go, this is ridiculous. It wasn't because they were black. It was because their attitude. It wasn't because they were. And so what happens is people think that another race might not like them because they're another race. No, it's normally because your attitude. Yeah, they sound like they were, man, that dude sound like a gangbanger from the 1980s. He talked like the gang. You know what I'm saying? The old LA accent. You guys know the LA accent. I wish I could mimic it, but I grew up in LA like that. So I kind of probably have it. The MC8 accent. Shout out to MC8. The cop, the most wanted man, rolling for deep. I can do a New York accent, but can I do a LA accent? Yeah, you get hated because of your attitude, not because of your race. Miles Morgan says, hey, Coach, Russell has always been on point with his basketball game. He is a victim of the blue pill society. Give them the Price is Wrong and the buzzer. Yeah, because it's kind of like a mix of Ice-T, Ice Cube, and MC8. That's going to be the LA accent. I'm going to come up with it. You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got to come up with the LA accent. Shout out to everybody in LA. I'm not in LA anymore. I'm in Orange County now. But I lived in all the counties. I lived in Ventura County. I've lived in LA County and Orange County. They're all distinctly different. Odele Holmes, I can do the Vatos essay. I can almost do the Vatos essay. Odele. Que onda? The essays love Cypress Hill. I'm like, are they even Spanish? Like, no, I'm just playing. Shout out to Cypress Hill. And they like oldies, bruh. They be like 20 years behind on their music. They keep music alive. Hey, if y'all ever want to know, essays keep music alive. Y'all forget about music, essays ain't never going to forget about music. They still bumping Roger Troutman, Zap, More Bounce right now. They kept the oldies alive. 50s music, 60s music. I'm not your puppet. No. Puppet. They will ride West Coast music till they die, till the wheels fall off. They do not forget music, man. If you know essays, they ain't gonna let you forget music. Somebody said they want me to do Indian accent. I got to get out of here. When am I moving? I got to get out of here. Where we at? Russell Westbrook he's also always pushed the envelope. So to your point, Miles Morgan, Russell Wilson again. Russell Westbrook has always pushed the fashion envelope. So this is no surprise. All right. This is no surprise. He's always pushed the fashion envelope. So to see him in a dress is not so much a surprise. But then when you combine it with everything else, then you can explain the reason why he did it. Kalen Ferguson, even Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth, wore a dress on Saturday Night Live. It's everybody. Now you have to ask why. Young and retired, no cap. How to defeat America. Number one, empower women. Number two, weaken men. Well, they don't think it's destroying it, right? Or defeating it. Hold up for a second. There's somebody in here. He might be trolling. Everybody's got the audio right. There's somebody in here trolling. But people think that America will continue to be strong. They think, yeah, he is in LA. So again, it kind of goes with the territory. But people think America is strong now. They still think there's no problem. There's nobody that's going to come in here and defeat us. I don't know if you know, but they're bringing a lot of people over from Afghanistan. They're giving them $2,200. A lot of the refugees, they're giving them money. Let's see here. Yeah, we're good. Somebody's trolling. They want attention. Some people wake up and they go, I want attention. Let me go mess with people who are doing important business. All right. And they got their little bit of attention and they feel good. Oh, I got them to notice my comment. America around the world is being defeated by subversion from within. All right. I'm going to just say it right now. Everybody thought the great America from the 80s. Remember, we always had a boogeyman. You know, we thought somebody from Russia in the 80s were going to come in and get us. Then we thought in the 90s, somebody in a turban was going to come in and get us. Then in the 2000s, again, we thought somebody over in Afghanistan was going to get us. By the time we got to 2010, the enemy is within. By the time we got to 2010, there was no more boogeyman. right? Because you couldn't racially profile anybody anymore, which is good. I'm not complaining about that. But now we're the boogeyman. We're literally our own worst enemy. We fight each other more than we fight anyone else. And a matter of fact, what we'll do is we'll fight each other to bring in outsiders who are going to subvert us from within. It is the craziest thing. But what is the guy from Yuri? What is the guy Yuri, whatever his name is? Yuri no, I can't even pronounce it. This guy right here, look him up. Now, they'll call him a conspiracy theorist, but he was from, look this guy up right here. He's got some great videos on YouTube explaining this. Bezmenov. We're going to call him this. I'm bad with names. I'll get better one day. He was supposedly a former KGB agent who turned into a journalist. And he talked about this. Basically, how you subvert from within and how communism said we're going to subvert from within instead of fighting you directly. Because if you can't fight an opponent directly and outpower them, you can destroy them from within and break them down and turn people against people. And in our culture today, we turn people against people, ideology against ideology, thought versus thought. We censor. We basically box people. Right now, it's between the vaxxed and the unvaxxed. That's how we are separating our culture. If you got shots, 2 shots, you're on the side of good and virtue. If you didn't get 2 shots, you're on the side of evil and contempt and terrorist. That's what we're doing in our society. Now, 2 years before, it was red versus blue, Democrat versus Republic. Now we're not even fighting on that level anymore. We have turned it into poked and unpoked. Before that, it was black versus white. In the last 5 years, we went from black versus white to red versus blue to now poke versus unpoked. And we're at each other's neck as a culture. Go look this guy up if you really want to know subversion from within. And I believe it 100%. We are our own worst enemy in America. I got my IG deleted, not because I'm harassing people. It's because people don't, they're like, I don't disagree with him. Let's stop him from talking. That is really, is that what we do as a society? Is that how we get smarter and stronger? No, that's how you get weaker. And a lot of times the weakest people have the most power because they'll spend most time flagging and reporting and all that stuff because they've never had a voice before. So this is their power. It's a shame. And I haven't said anything hateful. I just ask questions, right? Bobby Bowman, thank you for pointing out the hypocrisy. Men should stand their ground and never put up with this nonsense. Don't sell out for peace leave. But there's too many people, man. They are selling out for that particular thing. Don't ever depend on men riding with you, okay? Don't ever depend on men going full force or holding the line or standing their ground. And particularly, let's look at this chart right here. Okay. This is why I say the community is, I don't trust them. I don't trust men in the community. I don't trust them to follow suit and follow through. I'm going to blow this up just a little bit. Oh, I can't say that on YouTube. I'm going to expand this chart. Not blow this up. That will get you censored and demonetized. I have to say expand this chart. Wait a minute. I can't even get to the damn. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm going to expand this chart. You see there's the performance there of 2-parent households. I show this graph every time just to let you know. I don't trust people that tell you just go back to the plantation, marry, have a strong home, and everything will be okay. What's eventually going to happen is once you take the step, once you take the 2 pokes, then they have you in the system. And the system is still archaic. You cannot get yourself out of the system or remove yourself out of the system unless there's a penalty in which the people who encourage you to get into it never are going to pay the penalty to get you out of it. Hey, you pushed me into this. Well, You didn't do what you needed to do. And then what you need to do is simp. This is what you need to do. Well, you better simp harder. No, why don't you find out another solution? Because you're going to get me into a situation that you can't get me out of. If you tell me to marry and change these stats around, well, then if the marriages are out of control, if too many people run to the family court, if my kids get taken, what's the recourse? What are you going to do? What are you men that promote marriage are going to do when, let's say, half of the black men push this number up to 50% just to catch up to the people who you worship, white folks? You guys worship white people. You guys, since integration, you guys have wanted everything white people have had, and they said, hell no, you ain't going to get a damn thing. And you keep fighting and fighting to try to catch up to them, which you're never going to do. But you worship them so bad that you compare yourself to them all the time. So what are you going to do? Let's say the number goes from 22 to 50. Now, we do that in a 10-year period, and we change the black community by marrying up all these single mothers, and we give these fathers, and we protect these kids right here. What are you going to do then when all of those women, half of those women go to the divorce court? Which they are. Just telling you, it's going to happen. What are you going to do then? Are you going to pay all these guys' bills? Are you going to pay their attorney fees? Are you going to prevent them from getting their kids taken from them? Are you going to prevent Brittany Renner from sperm jacking PJ Washington? Where are you guys then? You guys, you know where they're going to be? Right here. After I plugged in, y'all ass is going to disappear on my ass when my marriage doesn't work. And when I say when, I said when, not if. When my marriage goes south and she takes my kids and she runs to Cincinnati and I got to chase her ass and file court paperwork, where are the marriage promoting people going to be? Gone. You're going to type in their chat. They're going to be doing a video. Hey, sir, do you know how to get me out of the situation I'm in? And they're going to be like, nope. Next one, they're going to block you in the chat. Block his ass in the chat. Get these MGTOWs out of here. And they're going to be at my channel now. They're going to be at my channel. Damn, I listened to that content creator that didn't have no damn solutions for me. They just said get married. And now my kids are getting taken. Now I'm playing the ring game.
Dad, what are you doing? Playing the ring game?
That he made, which is okay with me. Because he could definitely be fucking bitches right now. And he's playing a ring game in the kitchen. Leave my man.
When you marry that gordita and she blow up like the Goodyear blimp, yep, what they gonna say? Well, you should have picked better. You told me to marry these girls. You told me that they wanted to be submissive. You told me that they wanted to. Yep, they gonna go running. So I'm just letting you know, for men who watch these guys, and I respect these guys as content creators and as gentlemen. We can have a really good discourse about this one. I don't disagree with their message. Their message is on point until you add in the fact they're going to disappear on your ass when the divorce happens. They're going to disappear on your ass. When she blow up like the Goodyear blimp, when she don't want to listen no more, when you're worth more divorced than married, none of these people are going to help you out. So take your pick. Let's see here. Jamie Torres paying my tuition coach from the sandbox in the Middle East. Hit me with the I got money clip, my inspiration for when I get older. Did I even put him on? I got to put him on. I got money. Can't believe I don't have him on here. I got to find that guy. Only problem is, let's see if I can put him up. He's going to load up here in a second. It's going to take him a minute. But this is where I am, ladies and gentlemen, blue pills everywhere. If you don't want me to be here, fine. But this is where I'm at.
Here comes the bankroll. Here it comes.
This is what make it all happen right there.
That's what make it happen.
This what make it happen.
If a man want to know how to meet a nice woman, how you meet her?
With this. First damn word come out your mouth. I got money.
But those not respectable women.
I don't want no respect. I want some ass. Damn the respect. I want you to break down like a 12-gauge double barrel shotgun and show me what you're working with.
But don't you want commitment?
What? To who?
You don't want to be committed.
I'm committed to getting her to that bedroom and giving her what she needs.
That guy right there. Hey, for you blue pills that are dragging me back to the plantation, you're going to have to drag me back from that. Oh, you guys are immoral. You guys are, these guys will tell us we're contributing to the breakdown of society. I'm going to let you guys know. These people are telling us that guy's contributing to the breakdown of society. Okay, that's your opinion. But until you push back and get them damn laws changed, until you stop the Me Too movement from frivolously filing suits against people and coming on YouTube with allegations with no proof, until you prevent women from coming on and saying, I'm pregnant with no evidence, no, act like she's showing, no birth control test, no birth test, no nothing, no DNA, until you prevent a parental alienation, until you prevent my son being put in the dress and me and my own household saying, nah, my son ain't gonna wear no dress, and then they take the kids from me and I'm paying child support. Until you prevent that, that's where I'm gonna be, right there. Come check me out over on Stack and Succeed Boulevard. That's where you're gonna be. Oh. Somebody says the plantation can have its perks. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. There's a lady in here. Shout out to the ladies. I don't have problems with women. Everybody thinks I do. If you ever see me in public with women, I'm not here disrespecting and arguing with them. There's no point. I will never discuss politics or social issues with women. I don't discuss it. I already know where they lie, especially if they're melanated. I already know what side you on. You on 96% chance that you on the side of, better protecting yourself and not men legally. So hell with it. But I'm very respectful. There's a woman here saying that there's perks on the plantation. There's perks to being a slave, she says. To be a slave, there's massive perks. That's like when people say, you want to be a 9-to-5er, live off one revenue stream. There's perks. We'll give you benefits. We'll give you 2 15-minute work breaks, smoke breaks. We'll give you a 30-minute lunch. We'll put money